One.
The Lord our God is one.
Come on.
Exodus 20, starting with verse 1, reading of the Ten Commandments. And the Most High spake all these words, saying,
And the Most High spake all these words, saying,
I am the Most High thy power,
I am the Most High thy power,
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
out of the house of bondage.
out of the house of bondage.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above,
or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above,
or that is in the earth beneath,
or that is in the earth beneath,
or that is in the water under the earth.
or that is in the water under the earth.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
nor serve them.
nor serve them.
For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous power,
For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous power,
visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children,
visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children,
unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me,
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me,
and keep my commandments.
and keep my commandments.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain,
Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain.
for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain.
For the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work,
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work,
but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power.
but the seventh day is the
Sabbath day of the Lord thy power.
In it thou shalt not do any work,
In it thou shalt not do any work,
thou, nor thy son,
nor thy son,
nor thy daughter,
nor thy daughter,
thy manservant,
thy manservant,
nor thy maidservant,
nor thy maidservant,
nor thy cattle,
nor thy cattle,
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth,
For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth,
the sea,
the sea,
and all that in them is,
and all that in them is,
and rested the seventh day.
and rested the seventh day.
Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day
Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day,
and hallowed it.
and hallowed it.
Honor thy father and thy mother,
Honor thy father and thy mother,
that thy days may be long upon the land
that thy days may be long upon the land,
which the Most High thy power giveth thee.
which the Most High thy power giveth thee.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
nor his manservant,
nor his manservant,
nor his maidservant,
nor his maidservant,
nor his ox,
nor his ox,
nor his donkey,
nor his donkey,
nor anything that is thy neighbor.
nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Amen.
Read the law. We are reading from Leviticus chapter 14, starting at verse 35.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 35. And he that forth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, It seemed to me that there is, as it were, a plague in the house. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into to see the plague, that all the sins, that all that is in the house be not made unclean. And after the priest shall go in to see the house. Verse 37. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house, with hollow stripes, greenish or reddish, which inside or lower than the wall, the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house, and shut the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house. Then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city. Verse 41, last verse. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off without the city into an unclean place. Amen.
Amen.
Officer Rose, tribe of Judah, starting with Leviticus 14, verse 42. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar, and shall plaster the house. Verse 43. And if the plague comes again, and break out in the house, after that he hath taken away the stones, and after he stripped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look. And behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a spreading leprosy in the house, and is unclean. And he shall break down the house, and the stones of it, and timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, and shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he that goeth into the house, all that while that is in shut up, shall be unclean until the evening. Verse 47. And he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eat in the house shall wash his clothes. Verse 48, last verse. And if the pastor and the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague that not spread in the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed among them.
Brother George, tribe of Judah, starting with verse 49. And he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. Verse 50. And he shall kill the one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. Verse 51. And he shall take of the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. Verse 52. And he shall quench the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. Verse 53. But he shall let go the living bird out of the city into the open field, and make an appointment for the house, and it shall be clean. 54. This is the law for all manner of plague of leprosy and scald. Verse 55. And for the leprosy of a garment and of a house. Amen.
About the one that my name is Brother Don, tribe of Judah, reading out of Leviticus 14, starting chapter 56. And for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach that it is unclean, and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. Chapter 15. And this the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean, and this shall be his uncleanness in his issue, whether in his flesh runs with his issue, or his flesh be spotted from his issue. It is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lieth, that he has an issue, is unclean. and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. One last word. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat, that had the issue, shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until evening.
Shabbat Shalom, my brother Deacon Gabar, tribe of Benjamin. I'm in Leviticus chapter 15, verse 7. And he that toucheth the flesh of him hath the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Verse 9. And what saddle soever he rideth upon that hath the issue shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth anything that was under him shall be unclean until the evening. And he that beareth any of those things shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Verse 11. And whomsoever he toucheth that hath the issue and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. And the vessel of earth that he toucheth, which hath the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. Verse 13. And when he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, saints. Shabbat Shalom. Elder and brother Masar, tribe of Benjamin. I'm reading out of Leviticus chapter 15, verse 14. And on the 8th day, he shall take to him 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Most High unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give them unto the priest. And the priest shall offer them, and one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Most High for his issue. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until evening. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean until the evening. 18. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until evening. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue and her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days. And whosoever touches her shall be unclean until evening. Verse 20. And everything that she lies upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. Verse 21. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until evening. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. So now, once again, Shabbat Shalom, saints. Today's lesson is powerful. Okay, it's a very powerful lesson and stuff like that. Much timely and much needed. Okay. Y'all ready for this? All right. It is called A nation in need of salvation. I'm gonna repeat that. A nation in need of salvation. In quotations, right? In parentheses, a wake-up call to the world. All right? Anybody need me to repeat it one more time? Let me know now. Let me know. A nation in need of salvation. My readers for the day, those who are viewing us online will be officers Brother David Rhodes and Brother Nathaniel Brunson, okay? And of course, I'm Elder Lassar Garage from the Gathering of Christ Church here in South Carolina, in Columbia. And we're going to bring the Sabbath lesson on a nation in need of salvation. Now, before y'all read the commentary, right? Let me just set the tone for this. This is through the Spirit, and I happened to look this up before class started. And I want can you see this real good? I need to zoom in a little bit. Let me see here. Oh yeah, 100%. There you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. So check this out now. Now I happen to, through the Spirit, that I happen to look up, what in Wikipedia, what exactly their definition of a nation. Okay, so we can understand why a nation, Israel, right? Our people is in dire need of salvation, right? So read what like you said, what is a nation? You don't mind, Brother Rose?
A nation is a stable community of people formed on the basis of a common language, territory, economic life, ethnicity, or psychological makeup, manifested in a common culture. A nation is distinct from the people and is more abstract and more overly political than the ethnic group. It is a cultural, political community that has become conscious of its autonomy, unity, and particular interests.
Okay, so check this out, y'all. Right? And I'm just going to repeat it again, right? A nation is a stable community of people, right? That's strong in itself, right? A stable, not an unstable, not a disastrous community of people, right? But a stable community of people formed on the basis of a common language, territory, economic life, right? Ethnicity, or psychological makeup, manifested in a common culture, okay? And it says it is distinct from a people and is more abstract and more overtly political than an ethnic group. It also says a cultural, political community, right? This is key now. That has become conscious of its autonomy, unity, and particular interests, okay? We're talking about a nation in need of salvation, right? Okay, here's some more, right? Black Law's Dictionary defines a nation as the following. Read.
A nation, all group of people having common origin, language, and tradition, and usually constituting a political entity.
Okay, so the first one says a large group of people having a common origin, right? Language
and tradition usually constituting a political entity, right? Same thing, Wikipedia basically states, right? What else?
When a nation coexists with a state,
Mhm.
the term nation state is often used.
Okay, read the second definition.
A common people,
Community of
a community of people inhabited a defined territory
Mhm.
and organized under an independent government,
Mm.
a
Sovereign.
sovereign political state.
Okay, so check this out. So a community, the second definition is a community of people inhabiting a defined territory, which, we can't be a nation and don't have no territory. We can't, we scattered right now. We like pilgrims. Okay, all over again, like our father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was, right? Pilgrims, right? Strangers in a land that, that is not ours, right? Inhabiting a defined territory and organized under an independent government, right? Because see, at one time, the Most High, brought us with a mighty hand into our land and stuff like that. We was independent. We had a government that was ruled under the Most High, Ahia, right? Different from the nations round about us. They had their thing, we had ours. We was instituted law from the throne, from the heavenly throne, right? Now, there's some more stuff here, man. I mean, but check this out. Now, read the etymology, right? Check this out here, man.
Etymology and terminology.
Okay, what is that word derived from?
The word nation comes to England from the Old French word nation, N-A-C-I-O-N.
Okay, the word nation came to English from the Old French word nation, right? Meaning what?
Birth,
Birth, as in naissance, right?
place of origin.
Place of origin, right? So, naissance, right, is birth. So you understand why, the powers that be needed a desperate need of a renaissance, right? Period, right? A rebirth, right? That's when, the whitewashing and all this other stuff started taking place, man. They said, the dark ages, ain't nothing but going on and stuff like that. So for 1,000-year period, right? For a millennium, right? And all of a sudden we had a renaissance period. Everything, everybody can retract. Okay, this person did this, and that's when people started, the arts and well, nation is birth. The scriptures tell you that you are with your father, right? Birth, right? Your birthright, right? Like, we are Hebrew from what? The seed of Abraham, who was a Hebrew, right? Who was came from the lineage of Shem, which came from the lineage of Noah. On and on and on, right? Hebrew from Abraham and Isaac. Israel from our father Jacob, right? So we became Israelites, right? You understand what I'm saying? So that's how we define our nation. Our father's name ain't black or Africa or African or American. America came from the man, the Italian named Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian. I don't look Italian, right? You don't look Italian, but we're gonna put these labels on us, right? It tells you right here, birth, right? Read on.
The word nation is sometimes used in
Read that part right there. Place of origin.
place of origin, which in turn originated from the Latin word natio.
Yeah. Meaning the same thing, birth, right?
Right? Meaning birth.
But check this out now. Because see, something changed. Here's where it switched. So before the 18th century, every nation, every tribe in the world, before the New World colonialism, had an idea about what is a nation. Okay? But check this out, y'all. Right? I'm at this thing here, man. Y'all can look this up yourself, man. Nation and Wikipedia, right? Those who online stuff like that, man. Y'all can look that up on your own time on your phone or whatever, right? But black nationalism, right? See also African diaspora. Brother Rose, please, my brother, if you will, read this.
The 18th century brought an alteration,
Y'all.
to the meaning of the term nation, which became more narrow, referred to as a group with an recognizable and sovereign government with physical borders.
Come on.
This new definition aligned more with the concept of a nation state.
Mm-hmm.
The nation began to emerge into the late 18th century as a leading form of government and social organization. In the Americas, the catalyst that brought about this change in meaning was the influence of the African diaspora and its people in other states.
Read that again. When did it change?
It changed in the 18th century, brought an alteration to the meaning of the word nation.
Oh, read this part right here.
In the Americas.
In the Americas now.
The catalyst that brought about this change in meaning was the influence of the African diaspora and its people in other states.
So check this out. This is when it changed. When we came over here and became enslaved by the Romans.
Other states.
Right? Read on.
National identity brought rights to vote.
And national identity brought rights to vote.
To hold office.
The whole office.
And independence for a growing number of black territories held under colonial rule.
You see that? So national identity brought, well, right, so man, when we start, being more independent and, see, hold up, man, we ain't no slaves and all that stuff. Man, look at, man, we were born free. Listen, look at, man, we got rights too, right? We are human too. We ain't 3/5 of a man or whatever like that. Because we started populating, I mean, think about it, man. You got a family of, Edomite, masters, and you got a whole couple acres of nothing but slaves. You know what I'm saying? And they growing it up because it's like, when we was in Egypt, man, we populated, right? In group, the more we struggle, more affliction and stuff like that, the more we grew, right? The more we multiply, right? Read on. This change
occurred in the New World as Africans were brought as enslaved people. The white population of the New World considered these aliens to be in one category of nation that was based entirely on color and content of origin.
Right,
The identity of the enslaved at the time was shaped by their skin color rather than their nation or tribe they truly originated from.
So check this out now. It says the identity of the enslaved at the time was then shaped by their skin color rather than what nation or tribe they truly originated from. Now check that out.
Prior to the 18th and 19th century,
Oh, hold on for a minute. Let's let that marinate for a second. You know what I'm saying? Check this out now. Because see, we gonna go into the scriptures later and stuff like that, you know, man, because see now that we got the truth now, and we know who we are according to birthright, right? According to what the Bible says that we are, these nations not desired, right? Now here, the identity of the enslaved at the time was then shaped by their skin color. So they were just doing this stuff, man, because the color of our skin, right? Rather than what nation or tribe they truly originated from, which, you know, it probably was both. You understand? To be honest with you, it probably wasn't just the skin color and stuff like that. You know, the wise men, the elders of the elders of Zion, they know who we are. Maybe some of the more ignorant whites, they probably didn't know, and based on our skin color, but the true elders, you know, that know that Torah, you understand, and study that Torah and study who we are, they know who we are, right? Read.
prior to the 18th and 19th century, the term mainly refers to a group of people unified by language, religion, region, and cultural background.
Come on.
What is now considered to be one's ethnicity,
Come on.
ethnicity.
Come on.
It was through the process of emancipation and the end of slavery trade that the concept of nation began to change.
The concept of nation began to change. Right? Read on.
As the previously enslaved began to fight for rights, they had to discover what kind of rights they were searching for.
Hold up now. Hold up now. Y'all hear this? This is a Wikipedia, man. This is a Wikipedia, man. Yo, check this out. It said, as previously enslaved began to fight for rights. We started, you know, man, and that ain't too different from, you know, what we were doing in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, man, doing our awakening, knowing who we are too. But the thing is, we was fighting for rights, but you had to discover what rights we really searching for. Because we was segregated under Jim Crow in the South, right? And even in the North, man, you know, you got neighborhoods like that, man. You know, like your Bed-Stuy and East New York. And then you got Little Italy, you know, and places like that in New York. You know, speaking of New York and stuff like that, you had Bensonhurst, you had Chinatown. You know, you got separate but equal. That's what they want to call it, right? That brothers and sisters from New York, and y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Because ain't too much change, really. You know what I'm saying? But think about segregation and stuff like that. At least we had a mom and pop store. You know, we were more self-sufficient and dependent on each other because, you know, we couldn't go into the white establishment because, you know, we wasn't treated fair, right? So now we start to fight for rights, and this is what it's saying. We starting to fight for rights now, but we trying to figure out what kind of rights we search for now, man. We want to be like them, right? Read on.
It was in the process of emancipation that nationality began to take on a different meaning.
In the 18th century, after the slavery, the nation went from not being a birthright now, it took on a different meaning, right? When we came over here and now we fighting for rights and stuff now, right? We want to be, we want to come more Americanized and colonialized now, man. We, just like the scripture said, we want to continue our heritage, right?
Language and cultural background were no longer the only requirements of nations.
Language and cultural background were no longer the only requirements, of nations. Instead, what?
Instead, now the idea of an established government and physical border also shape what is meant to be a nation.
All right, and there's some more here and stuff like that, but I want to get through the lesson and stuff like that. Y'all look at this thing here, man, because
It is deep.
it's deep. It's deep. But now, before I get off the thing, let's look at the corpus behind the shaping this type of thing, right? Right, because you can't it's some kind of philosopher and or somebody that put that want to philosophize things, man. 1882, right? This guy named is Joseph Ernest Renan, right? Was a French expert of Semitic languages and civilizations, philosopher, historian, and writer, devoted to his native province of Britain. He is best known for his influential historical work on early Christianity and his political theories, especially concerning nationality. Right? Here's what is a nation. Read that.
In 1882, declares that race is confused with nation and a sovereignty analogous to that of really existing people is established, attributed to ethnographic, or rather logistics groups. And the truth is that there is no pure race.
He's telling you, man, there ain't no pure race. Right? Read.
And to make politics depend upon ecological, ethnographic analysis is to surrender it to a chimera, echoing and sentiment of civic nationality.
Yeah, so basically, look here, man. Yeah, I don't know why y'all, so worried about, y'all trying to rationalize what is a nation and everything like that, man, because, all in all, man, it don't need for us there because, we ain't no pure race out here, man. We all human. We just gotta learn how to get along, play along, whatever, right? That's basically what he's saying. Okay?
He also claims that a nation is not formed on the basis of dynasty, language, religion, geography, or shared interests.
But see, that's what Wikipedia said. So now this guy right here, he's talking about, man, look at, man, you can't form no nation on basis of a dynasty, language, religion, geography, or shared interests. But that don't make no sense. Because guess what? Christ said a nation divided against itself will not stand. So you gotta have a shared interest, a religion, because guess what? America got a religion. There's this book that, I just got this, I kind of skimmed through. It's called The Ages of Man, Imperial Rome. The author escapes me, man, but y'all go on Amazon, look that thing up, man, and man, look at, man, some of the things I skimmed through, man, the gods of Rome, ancient Rome, and all that stuff, man, it really tripped me out. How America has really gone, and how they have really, truly are the Romans. Revisited. On top of Babylon, into Egypt, all that. It's scary. You understand? Read.
A nation is a soul.
Is a what?
Is a soul.
A soul, that
a spiritual principle.
spiritual bit. That's what nation is. You know, we spiritually Italians or Romans or Israelites. You know what I mean? Ain't based on, you know, your geography, your religion, your language, or shared interest, man. We spiritual, you know, Egyptians, or we spiritually Edomites, Hamites, right?
A nation is two souls, a spiritual principle, two things.
Come on.
Which in truth are but one. Constitute this soul or spiritual principle. One lies in the past.
One lies in the past.
One in the present.
And one in the present.
One in the possession in common of rich lineage, legacy of memory. And the other is the present day content. The desire to live together, the will to perpetuate the level of the value of the heritage that one has received in the undivided form. Emphasizing the democratic and historical aspect of what concept a conservation. Although forgetting,
right? Like it says in Jeremiah, Israel was prophesied that they're going to discontinue their heritage. We forget about, oh Lord, that we ain't got to, because we spiritual Israelites now, man. We need to be, we in Christ now. We spiritual Israelites. Anybody can be an Israelite. It's in our heart, it's in our soul, it's in the spirit, it's a spiritual thing. It's like, they tell you, man, one time, looking at, just listening to, the elders teach on who is Edom, but the people no more, it's more like a spiritual thing now, that means that anybody can have that spirit of Esau, which is not true, because Jacob and Esau are the two nationalities, nations of the earth that, is prominent in biblical prophecy, last day prophecy. You understand what I'm saying? So this man here, what's his name again? Joseph Ernest Renan, right? Let's get off this right here, man. Let's get into the word, right? You got the read the commentary, Brother Nate, and brother, you got Genesis 15 ready? Let's go into let's go into the word, man. That was a little something that, I looked up, I was in the spirit. I wanted to to kind of just set the tone of why we in need of salvation. Because, our concept of nation has been altered, socially cropped and copied and pasted, flipped and bounced, okay, into something totally different from what we read in Black the People, okay? And that's why, we are a nation that we don't really know where we come from, so we just automatically, deal with what we attach to, what they taught us in school, right? We came from Africa. You understand? That's our origin. Then, they use that to say, well, hey, man, be the original man. And we've been there for millions of years, before Columbus and all this other stuff like that, But it's that, but that's the truth, according to the Bible. Okay? A nation in need of salvation. A wake-up call to the world. Read the commentary for me, brother.
A nation in need of salvation. A wake-up call to the world. With all the so-called advancements in society and all the different levels of education that can be obtained, there's still a group of people in every ghetto in the earth who still can't seem to catch up to the rest of the world. It's as if they are accursed people by the Most High himself to those who look upon them. It's to the point where the onlookers look on in disgust and wonder what is wrong with this particular people. is there something wrong? Is there really a curse? You'll find that these people are in fact cursed and are in need of salvation far more than any other. This salvation, however, also comes with stipulations that we all must pay attention to and teach to others before the end begins, because the world is depending on these people finding salvation.
All right, so brothers and sisters, let's turn to the book of Genesis. Right, we got to start to the origin of these stipulations of salvation, because the Most High made a covenant and a promise to a man that walked perfect in all the earth of men in his time. Okay, his name is Abraham. Abram at the time of giving this covenant. Okay, so we had Genesis 15, and we're going to start at the 13th verse. If y'all there, say comment.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 15, starting at verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know assuredly that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
All right, so of course we know that this don't have anything to do with our time being in Babylon, aka America. Okay, it says, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And that 400 years started when Abram had Isaac, because he too was a stranger, sojourning in both Egypt and Canaan. So did Jacob, so did the children of Israel. Right? Read on.
Verse 14.
Come on.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
Come on.
And afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
Right. So that's proof right there, because we ain't came out nowhere yet with no great substance. We still, for the most part, we still trying to get some substance. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, this ain't talking about no America right here, right? Okay? Like, some will want to claim, right? Right? Read on.
Verse 15. And thou shalt go to thy father in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
So, come on.
But in the fourth generation there shall come hither again, for the iniquities of the Amorites is not yet full.
Right.
And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passes between those pieces. And in verse 18, and in the same day, the Most High made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, for the river, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river of Euphrates. Verse 19, the Canaanites and the Kenizzites and the Condamites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Raphaims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Gershites and the Jebusites.
Okay, that's it on that. 21, right? So what is it saying? Now read the commentary, brother.
There's a promise to a particular seed of Abraham, who does not receive the promise of the true border of the land the Most High who said they would have. These people have served from one empire to the next with no hope in sight, and still await that promise.
That's right. Right? And see, all those the Canaanites and the Kenizzites and everything, these were, the Nephilim, the giants, in which, when you read in Genesis, the 6th chapter, when the sons of God or the angels, the heavenly host, came down and a woman and stuff like that, and giants, came in the land at that time. And these are the remnant of some of the giants that was, one John in particular, all, right? You read that, you read about all and books like Deuteronomy, everything like that. When we had to, through the mighty hand of the Most High was taken down, okay, by Moses and the children of Israel. But this is why, even till today, the Most High said we wrestle not with flesh and blood, okay, right? But that promise of Israel, the state of Israel, and look what the Most High promised and stuff like that. Look at it, man. They have really pulled the wool over the children of God as well as the world's eyes, okay. But you already read the commentary, right? But guess what? Speaking of salvation, right?
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, starting at verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me, and the Most High, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, who ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Most High of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refinery fire, and like fuller's soap. Verse 3. And he shall set as a refinery and purify of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Most High an offering in righteousness.
That's right. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Most High, as in the days of old, and as in former years.
That's right.
Verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerer, against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the harlotly, and his wages, the widow, and the followers, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Most High of hosts.
That's right.
For I am the Most High, I change not.
Come on now.
Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
There we go. He said, I am the Lord, and I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Right? So that proves to you and stuff like that the Most High ain't put away us to start serving, to start, bringing together another people and make up his own and stuff like that. He kept the same covenant. As a matter of fact, that's why he had to make a new covenant, because we as the people broke the old one, right? Because he promised our fathers Abraham from day one. We read Abraham earlier on in Genesis 15, right? And he changed not. He's not a man that you have to repent. Okay, read on.
Verse 7.
Come on.
Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from my ordinance.
Come on.
And have not kept them. Return unto me.
Come on.
And I will return unto you,
Come on.
saith the Most High of hosts.
That's right.
Be ye said, wherein shall we return? Verse 8.
Come on.
Will a man rob a hired? Yet ye have robbed him. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offering. Verse 9. Ye are cursed with a curse. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation.
That's right. Read the commentary.
The Father promised that he would send someone to deliver the children of Israel from the curses that he put upon them for their disobedience to his commandments.
Come on.
He is not a man that he lies.
Mhm.
His promises are final and will be awarded to the chosen people.
Mhm.
Who will repent of their sins in the last days and turn back to him.
Right. So he brought the man, but he gave us a promise and gave us a land, man, and we didn't keep our end of the bargain. That's how we brought the Most High. Right? So let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Right? We're talking about some curses, right? Let's go through these curses. Right? Because we tell our people about these curses, and they want to believe that, and I witnessed that, at the Malcolm X festival in Greenville, some of that. When you can tell me, man, we curse, man, I don't believe that. Hey, okay, you know I believe it. Let the word, let God be true and every man a lie. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So, you have to believe me. Okay? I'm the one that's going to put the judgment on you or nothing. Deuteronomy 28, let's start at the 15th verse.
Please say John. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, starting at verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, Shema, unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
But check this out. These things came to only one people, and that is the children of Israel. It is no other people. The Most High didn't give his ordinance, his statutes, his commandments, his judgments, his oracles, but to one people in the whole world, in the whole earth, I should say. The world has, according to the Bible, has different content, different contents, than how we use world today. Okay, so let me just say earth, right? That's what we own, right? So, but anyway, right? So by default, the people who suffering from these curses being overtaken that's overtaking them based on a millennial old commandments. By default, these people will be the ones that, no matter what they do, if they ain't keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, these people ain't going to rise or excel further than, you know what I mean? They can go. They can't go but so far. They're just like, fleas trying to, jump out of a jar with the lid on top. They're always going, they're going to keep hitting their head. Right? So when you open the lid, they quit jumping. For fear they're going to bump their head. That's the kind of people he's, right? Drop down to verse 43.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and they shall come down very low.
You see that? Because when we came out of Egypt and went into our land, yeah, we had Gentiles amongst us. Strangers. That's what Jesus is, an alien or a foreigner. Right? These same people that were serving along with us, now going to be above us. We're going to be serving them. We're going to be borrowing from them. Okay? That's the curse. That's what we do now. When we get low on money and stuff like that, we go to check cashing. Who run that? The Arabs, Indians, white people. You know what I'm saying? I seen some black people at a cash advance, stuff like that. They work with somebody. They don't own that. Right? Now
not that I seen, you know. I ain't saying they ain't none. Payday advance, title loan, you know, money man pawn shop, you know what I'm saying? All, you know, we lend, right? It's gonna take you read.
Verse 44.
Come on.
He shall lend to thee.
He shall what?
Lend to thee.
He shall lend to thee.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
And we ain't lending nothing to him. Because look at it, man, we brought down law. We, you know, man, we've been stripped. We have been stripped. We're not giving up nothing. Right?
John.
Read.
He shall be the head.
He shall be the head. Who? The stranger.
And thou shalt be the tail.
And we gonna be the tail. Right? Who, you know, and it's so funny, man, because Elder had did, you know, a couple of weeks ago a radio broadcast on money or knowledge. And when y'all get the chance, y'all check that out if you haven't already. It's on YouTube now. But man, that thing was so powerful. And I feel bad. Look at, I suggest, man, look at, man, I was, you know, I could, you know, this broadcast that to the world, so people can get an understanding, man, because everybody, you know, all these conscious people and stuff like that, they're always talking about, oh, we need our own economic thing. They don't even know where to begin. They don't want to go in that Bible. You understand what I'm saying? It tells you what? He shall lend to thee, who he? The stranger, the foreign, the Gentiles, right? Whether it's Edom, Ham, Japheth, Ammon, what's the brother name? Moab, you know, whoever. Whoever stuff like that, they gonna be lending to you. You gonna be like, yo man, let me get $50 or $100 or $200 to a payday. Okay, write this, fill out this form right here and stuff like that. You know, give me your information, right? Where you work at? Where can I contact you? If you have a loved one that you know, you got a reference and stuff like that. You gotta get 3 references, right? Where you work at? How can I contact you? What's your cell phone number? What's your house phone number? Right? I'm talking from experience now. You know what I mean? And you fill that thing up, man, you know, man, based on your credit, man, I can only max $300, man. So, you know, you're $200 short from the 5. And, you know, your landlord or whatever want that money. And then when that next paycheck comes and stuff like that, more bills and stuff coming and stuff like that. So now you got to call them up and say, well, man, I thought I was gonna have it, man, but you know, this happened and stuff like that. They ain't trying to hear that. Oh, okay, well, no, you can rewrite, and you get now they're using usury now. This is how this thing's set up. You understand? Putting you in more debt now. Y'all know what I'm talking about, huh? Can I get a man or something? Okay. This is what's happening, and they're getting ahead, and we at the tail end. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's a curse, brothers and sisters. Read on.
Verse 45.
Come on.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thy be destroyed.
Till thy what?
Till thy be destroyed.
Till thy be destroyed.
Because ye hearken not until the voice of the Most High thy power.
Come on now.
To keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Verse 46.
Come on.
And thou shalt be upon thee for a son.
And what?
And thou shalt be upon thee for a son.
That's why they looking at us and saying, you know, all that buying power that got, man, you know, because also in that same broadcast, it tell you in 2017, man, you know, this Judah alone was in the trillions buying power. In the trillions. And we struggling to get $5 or something. Come on, man. So you know what I can do with $1 trillion? You can buy your own, you can buy an island somewhere, nobody can use. You can buy Antarctica, you know, moving close to a warm climate and stuff like that, so all the snow and polar bears can melt, and we can have a good old time over there on our own land if we want to, right? With $1 trillion. Come on, man. I got a bridge, you know, I got a stake on a bridge and stuff like that, looking over Manhattan. It's called Brooklyn Bridge. You know what I'm saying? Man, look at it. Come on now. But yo, check this out, man.
Starting with verse 46.
46.
And thou shalt be upon thee for a sign.
For a sign. They looking upon us and stuff like that. Well, dang, man. You know, man, they, you know, even though, man, they some good people, man, and, you know, they show us talented.
And for a wonder.
And for a wonder. So they're wondering. Amazement, astonishment, right?
And upon thy seed forever.
Right. This is a sign. This is a sign we are the children of God. You know what I'm saying? Because look at it, man, ain't nobody being amazed with Chinese people. Ain't nobody being amazed of Jewish people. Ain't nobody being amazed of, you know, Hamites. Right? But you know, man, you know, they're amazed that, you know, we got all this star quality, all this talent and stuff like that, man. But you know, even in the music industry, man, you know, man, look here, man. I mean, we still being run by cats like Leon Cohen, Jimmy Iovine and stuff like that, man. You know, behind Death Row, behind, you know, Def Jam. You understand? We going.
Verse 47.
Come on.
Because they serve not the Most High thy power with joyfulness.
Come on.
And with gladness of heart. For the abundance of all things.
For the abundance of all things. And we could have had it all. We had it all. Right? But because we didn't serve the Most High with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, what happened?
Verse 48.
Come on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Thou shalt do what?
Serve thy enemies.
Thou shalt serve thy enemies.
Which the Most High shall send against thee. In hunger.
And what?
In hunger.
In hunger and what else?
And in thirst.
Come on.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness.
And in want of all things.
One of all things. And boy, if one people don't want all things, it's Israel.
He knows. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he said, what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy
That
neck.
happened to all the children of Israel.
Until he destroy thee.
Judah and Ephraim. Both of them had a yoke. You can't forget about the Latinos and the Indian tribes. You understand? All right? Because I know a lot of people want to dismiss it. They say, well, they ain't went through what we went through. That's a lie. Read the history. Read the history. American Holocaust, when you get a chance. All right? This happened to all the children of Israel. This is what the blessings and the curses came from. You can't dismiss them. But man, one thing that wants somebody that wants all things is us. You understand? You know, the latest fashion, the big homes, all the money in the world. You know, one of all things. One of all things, right? Read the commentary, my brother.
The people on the bottom of every society has not changed since the fall of the children of Israel. They did not serve the Father with gladness, and even until now, to this very day.
And we still ain't serving them right. We kicking against the pricks. They don't want to accept this. It's time to wake up, though. Because look here, man, ain't no mathematics, no science, ain't none of this stuff, you know, y'all want to call yourself believing, and I'm talking to the world now. It's time to wake up. You understand? Because you can't philosophize your way out of the degradation of our people and our nation. You understand? You can't do that. Okay? I don't care if you know, read Deuteronomy chapter 28. brothers and sisters online too, who may be viewing this. Read Deuteronomy 28, and then come back to me and tell me we ain't the children of God that's being overtaken by these curses. Okay? Read on.
They did not serve the Father with gladness. Even now, to this very day, they are serving the other nations.
Come on.
These curses are therefore a sign to the point where anyone claiming to be these people will be seen clearly as frauds.
That's right. Jewish people haven't, served their enemies and been scattered. And they ain't never had no yoga iron on them where they been transported from one part of the earth to the next. Never. I don't care how much Holocaust stories they came up with. Schindler's List, Inglorious Bastards, all that stuff, man. They ain't never beat that. They've been the one behind it. Jew. Hitler was a Jew. Jewish. You understand? I know they didn't want to hear this, and the boy, you may have to check the video and stuff. That's a while, man, because because this thing might go, they might cut us short tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But really, man. But really, man, look here, man. This ain't happened to no other people. Even our people we talking about, with the Chinese, they were indigenous servants and all this stuff. Like, man, look here. Stop it. Stop it. Come on, man. Man, look here. Japanese on one half of New York, the Chinese on the other. And at LA, and Chicago. And all of Hawaii. Come on. So Tokyo look just like New York. Look like London. What's that square name in London and stuff like that? Is it London Square? London Square. Tiananmen Square look just like Tiananmen Square, and in Tokyo and stuff like that look just like Times Square. Straight up. And I ain't even have to travel over there. I've been to Times Square, but I ain't got to travel out there to know. When I see them Sonys and all that lights in Times Square, know that it look just like that in Sydney, Australia, in Tokyo, in China, and in London. They wind up so it can't be us. Okay? And they can't even try to be like us. Because, you go to Deuteronomy 28, we supposed to be on the bottom. Okay? Straight up and down. Read on.
These curses are therefore a sign to the point where anyone claiming to be these people will be seen clearly as frauds.
Come on.
Because they don't fit the curses.
Because they don't fit the curses. Read.
There will only be a remnant of these cursed people
Mm-hmm.
who will turn to the Most High, and He will deliver them from the curses.
That's right. A nation in need of salvation, a savior. Isaiah 42. Let's hit all of it, man. It's a great lesson, man. I can't skip none of this. So let's get through it, man. Let's take our time, man. It's like about. Let's get going.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 22.
Okay. Just like you ain't told them yet, just write the scriptures down. Isaiah 42, start at verse 22.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all them snared in, and they are hid in prison houses.
Mm-hmm.
They are for a prey.
They are for what?
They are for a prey.
They're here. They are for a prey. They all in the prison house. Look at all the prisons in the United States. Who populate that? Bloods, Crips, Essex, Black and Kings, MS-13s. Who are the children of Israel? Whites and others are the minority. But yet still, they calling us minority outside the prisons. Yeah, and guess what? It's starting to be true, man, because we the majority in the prison. That's why they got us up in there.
Come on.
Our tax money, our tax dollar is going to build more prisons and more roads to get there. Okay? Read on.
And none delivered,
And none delivered. Come on.
for his fall, and none said,
Restore. Restore. Ain't none of them saying, yo, restore these people, man. You know, they can't go up like that, man. We gotta let them know they're the children of God. They ain't saying none of that. Because yo, man, because, you know, our ignorance means their reign and salvation.
Come
Okay?
That's right.
on.
Come on now, read it.
verse 23,
Come on.
who among you will give ear to this?
So who among you gonna give ear to this? Which one of y'all gonna actually sit and hear? Listen to what we got to say, brothers and sisters. Read.
Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
Who's gonna hear the message for the time to come? Read.
Who gave Jacob for his spoil,
Who gave it to? Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
and Israel to the robbers,
Who gave it to him?
but not the Most High?
Did not the Most High?
He against.
So everybody wanna say, man, the white man did this and white man did that, man. But guess what? We broke the commandments. We broke the covenant. So just like you know, when any husband or any wife, you know, break their, you know, marital agreement and stuff like that, you know, we give you more. The bill of divorcement. You understand? That's what we do. Most times give you up to your uncleanness. To uncleanness, you know, I wanna send a stranger there, you're gonna serve your enemy, just like it said, Deuteronomy 28 and 44, right? I'm gonna let you serve your enemies. It said, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Most High, Ahia? Read.
He against who we have sinned.
And he against whom we have sinned against. Read.
For they would not walk in his ways,
Come on.
neither were they obedient unto his laws.
There you go. Read.
Therefore he hath poured unto him the fury of his anger,
Mm-hmm.
and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about. Yet he know not, and it burned him, yet he led it not to heart.
You see that? Look at it. This is the fury of the Most High kindling in his heart, man, because I'm disobedient. But yet we don't even know. We ain't even trying to go and do the money, go into the law and see where we messed up at as a people. We philosophize. Oh, we talking about the glory day. Oh yeah, man, we were kings. God is God and stuff like that, man. You know, ain't none of it stop us. Another thing I hear, you know, our people saying stuff like that, man. Yeah, man, you know, white man take on because we start getting too, you know, soft and stuff like that, allowing them to, you know, integrate with us and all that, man. Come on, man. No, you was disobedient. Let's keep it wrong. We was disobedient, stiff-necked, stubborn people. And that's what came to our demise. Our fall as a nation. And it happened gradually, but it eventually happened. We was in there for a while, but we were still serving. Till Most High removed us completely out of his sight. We were scattered amongst the nations to serve him. Right? Read it.
Commentary.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into the prison house,
Mm-hmm.
these people will always be the dominant group there, and they are oppressed in every nation of the earth. And the majority of the onlookers don't care about their plight.
Mm-hmm.
This too is a curse. These people who are proud yet not actually think that it's possible. They are in fact debauching and suffering the curse.
Jeremiah 17, you see that? Y'all hear that? Jeremiah 17, verse 1 through 4. Can't find it, just write it down on a piece of paper and, highlight it or go through it later. So get too easy real quick.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 1. The sins of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with a point of a diamond. It is engraved upon the table of his heart, of their heart, and upon the horns of your altars. Verse 2. Which their children remember their altar and they grow by the green trees upon the hills, the high hill. Verse 3.
Hold on, go back. Read verse 1 again. I'm sorry, brother.
The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron.
The sin of Judah is written. So all my Judites out there, is written. Your sin is written with a pen of iron, right? And look at it, man. Ain't just talking about Judah the tribe. It's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You gotta understand that we, after the split and stuff like that, we had, all the priests who wasn't a tribe at the time. They were just a priest. There wasn't a lot of land, right? But Benjamin was a land, was a tribe, or is a tribe. You know what I'm saying? And they were allotted land and stuff like that, and they was kept alongside with Judah for King David's sake, right? So they talk about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi at the time. Our sin is written with a pen of iron, with the what?
With the point of a diamond.
With a point of a diamond. Man, it's written in calligraphy. You understand? Because when I look at the little pins and stuff like that, that's what I think of, man. They look diamond shaped almost.
It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altar.
Come on now.
Verse 2.
Come on.
Which their children remembered their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills.
See that? While as their children remember their altars and their groves, same thing, what God, Solomon, dealt with by the Most High. Altars and the groves that he did, after, his heart dealt with the strange women that he dealt with, right? Read.
Verse 3.
Come on.
O my mountains in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil.
To the spoil, man. See, that's why they bum, the minute that, we feel the nations was waiting on us. The bum rush, the gold, silver, everything that's, of value, even including our land. Because they know too how valuable and how powerful that land is. That's the land flowing with milk and honey. Who don't want that? Huh? We obviously did, right? Well, now you got the knowledge of truth. We want them down and stuff like that, but it's being occupied, just like it was being occupied, when the Canaanites and the Girgashites and all them had, right? They ain't was just trying to give it up either. Just like the Jewish people, they ain't giving it up now. This is how you can explain the war in the Middle East right now. The conflict that's going on in Gaza and Tel Aviv and the strips and all that over there. World domination, man. That's the source. Most High gave that up, the treasure to be spoiled. Our land to be spoiled, right? Read.
I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil.
Come on.
And the high place for sin throughout all thy borders.
That's right.
Verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
Thou shalt do what?
Discontinue from thy heritage.
We gonna forget. David in Psalm 83 said, man, that they what it said to me, I'm gonna paraphrase it, that in Psalms that something about heritage, that they're trying to do crafty concept, they're trying to make us forget that Israel forget it real quick, man. Becoming a nation, right?
They are coming together.
Yeah, man, let me get that real quick, man. That's what, you know, came to my mind. Say, it's Psalms 83 and 4, right? It said, and they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel may not be no more in remembrance.
As remembrance, right? And guess what? They cut us off because they have, you know, just like I said earlier, man, guess what? They put us in these prison houses, man, but they haven't restored. Even if they come up with these, you know, vocational or rehabilitation, low quarters, stuff like that, they ain't telling us who we are. They're just trying to, you know, reform us into their old structure.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Going back to something you said before,
Mhm.
it was through the process of emancipation and the end of the slave trade that the concept of nation began to change. As the previously enslaved began to fight for their rights, they had to discover what kind of rights they were searching for. The rights we're searching for is our identity.
That's right.
Who we are.
That's right.
That's when you read Psalms. That makes sense.
Exactly.
To the Most High.
You understand what I'm saying? See, that's why I had to go there. You understand? That's why I had to go there first. Because, you know, this is the process, man. That's why the Bible, man, look at that's why, man, like, you know, when I first heard, heard the truth, and I had to, you know, I found out that I was Israel. You know, this was long before, you know, of course, this was long before I went to LCC and stuff like that. But then, you know, I started getting better understanding and clarity and edification through Elder Ricard, watching Elder Ricard, Elder Lord. You understand what I'm saying? You know, man, and, you know, maybe, you know, go into it more to study and, you know, get in these classes and everything, you know, the academy with everything. Because, man, this thing is deep. This stuff is in levels and layers. You know what I'm saying? When you start peeling it off, man, it's deeper than just black or white, you know, brown or whatever like that, man. This is like this is the, you know, a psychological, spiritual, mental, physical, whatever. Deception. Even they people fool. Right? Not just us. Right? Jeremiah 17 and 4. Read that again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
Come on.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemy in the land which thou knowest not.
Thou knowest not. In America, because guess what? We didn't know about no America, or no Babylon, or no Osprey. That's Judah. You understand? Shoot, man, even when you know, when you know, our brethren went off and stuff like that, man, they, you know, they just knew that they were dispersed. They ain't know where they went at. They didn't know that land. Okay? Now, for the most part, maybe some elders or somebody that with wisdom and all that knew. But now, people as a whole, they didn't know that. Remember now, you know, we consider them Gentiles after a while. We didn't even consider them our people, but strangers. You understand? So, read on.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
All right, that's another sign. We up there, you know, having debates. When I come in, you know, came to the Nashville, man, there's people debating, you know, us, you know, Israelite versus Egyptology, Israelite versus Islam. Everybody want to be right, thinking they got the answers, you know, what's wrong with our people and stuff like that. What's the true doctrine? What we should really be following, right? Because man, we are people, you know, destined to find out what's the truth, who we are, and that's a sign. It's right in our faces. When I think about it, man, you know, all the debates and stuff that, you know, I seen the church or, you know, other churches have with these other conscious groups out here and stuff like that. That's a sign. You understand? Another curse. Let's go to the book of Acts, the 5th chapter.
Before I go on, man, anybody need me to go back somewhere? Everybody good? All right. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, though. That, like you said, that was a deep word.
Yeah.
Teaching the bar read,
Mhm.
all that, like you said, all that tied in. I never even heard that before.
Yeah.
I heard the other two, but you said that tied in.
Yeah.
Everybody made the mind. So I.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When I was reading, man, I think you just.
Wikipedia,
Yeah.
nation.
One.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Acts the 5th chapter, let's go to the 25th verse. Start at the 25th verse, and we're gonna read from 25 to 31. Acts.
If I could say real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Any scriptures that y'all don't get, if you go to our YouTube page, GOCCSC, all the scriptures are in there in the chat section, so you can pull all the scriptures, so that you're not without. So even if you miss something, don't worry about it. It's there. That's it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir. All right. Acts 5 and 25. Read it.
Acts 5 and 25.
Come on.
Then came one and told them, saying, Behold, the men who you put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people.
So check this out, man. Once, Christ came and, taught the disciples. And the disciples went out there and fished, like Christ taught them and stuff like that, and started keeping souls to themselves and stuff like that, to themselves, but, getting the 70, and then the 70 with the 120, and the 120, the 300, on and on, right? Because remember now, Most High told Elijah in the Old Testament, look here, that Paul, emphasized in Romans that, look here, man, I have reserved 7,000 men that haven't found a need to pay out, right? So check this out. The ones that the ones that you got in prison, that you had in prison homes and stuff like that, they are now in the temple, standing in the temple, and they teaching the people now. They say the power of the Most High through Yeshua. The low and the base people are now teaching, proclaiming the word of God in spirit and in truth. And now, guess what? Those who finance and build and finance and and build the prison houses now, they shaking their boots and they mad as heck, because of that. They trying to refute that. What? You guys here teaching the word? What school you went to? John Hopkins? Columbia? Harvard? Well, I know there's law and stuff like that, but I know they teach religion and all that stuff like that. You went to Howard? Come on, man. You understand? What seminary college you went to? Right? Read on.
Verse 26.
Come on.
Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence.
Come on.
For they fear the people, as they have given stones and stones. Verse 27. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, Do not we strictly command you that ye shall not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us.
You see that? He said, now look here. Didn't I tell you, didn't I command you not to teach in Yeshua's name? Right? But yes, though, man, you filled up Jerusalem with your doctrine. What proves to you and stuff like that Christ's doctrine holds power in this earth. It don't, and see, that's what our people is missing. There's a difference between what we've been taught in Christianity that hold us in bonds, right? That taught us to be that taught us how to be, a good servant to the master versus Christ's doctrine that will take the yoke of iron off us and now give us liberty. You understand? There's a difference. Read on.
Verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey higher rather than men.
We ought to do what?
Obey higher rather than men.
Look at it. He said we ought to obey God rather than men. That's what Peter and the apostles said to these, these captains and officers, to show you what kind of authority and power that came with Christ, the true Christ doctrine. Because see, the Pharisees and stuff like that, even though they come out there with their little phylacteries and everything, want to point out every little thing that what Israel was doing wrong and stuff like that. See, they had an authority. They had people, the Romans, who they had, they ain't been nothing but many taskmasters to tell you the truth. You understand? They were paid pipers, Pied Pipers, right? Sound familiar? Read on.
Verse 30.
Come on.
The power of our father raised up Yeshua, whom ye slew and hung on a tree.
Come on now.
Him with a higher exalted with his right hand to be the prince and the savior, for to give in repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
That's right. See, man, you paid, Peter was like, oh, listen, man, you paid me to do what? I obeyed God. God, it was the side that, through the Most High, the Holy Spirit that, rest the church, his church, his doctrine upon me. Right? And my brothers, the apostles. It's through the power of the Most High in Yeshua's name that I to proclaim, the kingdom at hand. And I proclaim Christ, proclaim, Israel for repentance of sins and forgiveness of sins in the name of Yeshua. Who is you to tell me? He wasn't asking Caesar and all that for permission to teach. He went out there and prophesied. Right? Read on. I mean, that's it, right? All right. So Christ himself, go ahead, read the commentary on it, Dan.
So Christ himself means salvation for specific people who need to be saved. No one else cares to do it. It is these people who will help deliver this world from other annihilations under our Savior. But first, the true gospel must be preached to deliver the righteous.
That's right, and that's what they fear. That's what they fear, man. And that's why the opposition comes. Even amongst our people, theologians that we grew up to love and everything like that, that we thought, when they were teaching us right. When we come back now and say, well, hold up, man, don't you know we the children of Israel? They're like, oh man, that no man, that ain't me, man. We all children of God, That's what they say, man. But see, look at it. No, the Most High had a covenant, brothers and sisters. His law, statutes, and commandments he gave unto Jacob. He didn't give to everybody in the whole earth. That's the difference. Okay? Now, yeah, they can be partakers if they serve and our God correctly and esteem our Savior and can be converted and believe. I'm not saying that, Israel only. I'm not teaching that Israel only doctrine. But rest assured, I'm saying Israel first. Like Christ said, I'd rather you go to the lost sheep. You understand? The house of Israel saying, please, the kingdom of God is at hand. Because this is our kingdom. Right? That we're gonna be fruitful. And those strangers born and stuff like that believe, to be converted and believe correctly, denounce their gods and spring from meat strangled with blood and fornication and all that, and they be partakers in that. Okay, they be up under our rule of thumb.
rather than we be a part of theirs. Because they don't rule, they rule it. You understand? So, but that's the power of that's the power of Christ's doctrine from the Most High, man, that, we freed up. That's the authority, right?
Yes.
Let's go to Romans 8. If you fast forward that, well, we're going to Romans 8, and see, this is why this is so much the opposition we having among, even those Israelites and stuff like that, even though, they speaking, kind of like hatred or whatever like that, or this, that, and third. That's what, that's why, there's so much of opposition. Because they're telling the truth concerning with who we are, something how we need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. That, and we came from slavery. That is the truth, right? But, you understand? But also, you got to get the doctrine. You got to follow Christ. You have to believe that Christ came in the flesh. You have to teach Christ's doctrine. Not just to Israel, but, he was setting up Israel to rule. How we gonna be rulers? It ain't gonna be in the kingdom, but Israelites gonna be ruling other Israelites. It gotta be some subject, man, because guess what? Romans wasn't just ruling other Romans, or Greeks wasn't ruling just Greek people. They took over other people's territories and made it and conquered and made it their own political or national state. Just like we read in the wakeup. You understand? When you read in Persia, when you read in but the Persian Empire, the Medes and the Persians, stuff like that, when we go into the program, they had conquered Ethiopia, India, Lydia, all that stuff like that. That's what they did. They wasn't just ruling Persians. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what, this is how we have to teach people. Okay? Romans 8 and verse 15, brother. Read. 15. Mm-hmm.
Romans 8 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
For ye have not received the spirit of bondage, again in fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby ye cry, Abba, Father.
For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again, right? Again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. So check this out. Again, what they were trying to do, while there was so much opposition and stuff like that, when you read in Acts, because, like I said, man, they've been trying to, put the yoke of bondage, going with that old letter. That's why they didn't want to teach Christ, man, because they wanted the true children of God to be subject. Okay? Because this is what the Pharisees and scribes and stuff like that were getting paid to do by the same people. To keep us asleep and yoked up.
What does Abba mean?
Abba means father. Mm-hmm.
Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the highest.
The Spirit itself bears witness to our spirit. That spirit talking about the Holy Spirit, right? Read.
Verse 17.
Finish off 16.
That we are the children of the highest.
Come on.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And if children, then heirs, heirs of power, and joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
That's right. Keep going.
Verse 18. For I reckon that the suffering for this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
That's right. Come on. It says that, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time, right, because we all suffering, in righteousness, in this captivity and stuff like that, now that we,
Now that, that, we knowing the truth now, and we're not in darkness anymore, yeah, we gonna be suffering, we gonna be suffering. We did a, lesson on persecution last week and stuff like that, talking about the agendas behind persecution, right? Talking about it was like what, a political, yes, it was a political campaign, against a people, a religion, a nation, on and on and on. So, man, it so happened that, we now talking about, a nation now in dire need of salvation, right? It's gonna be some persecution. It's gonna be some suffering. Because Christ suffered. You understand? Christ was persecuted. He was plotted against. You understand? But guess what? It said, man, if so be that we suffer with him. Okay? Now if he suffered, man, but we be straight. We ain't got to go through it all. No, we got to go through this to him, right? Because that we do what may be also glorified together with him. You understand? Read on.
Verse 19. For the earnest expectations of the creature waits for the manifestation of the sons of a height.
The what? The earnest expectation of the what?
Creature.
Creature is what? Product of creation. That means everything we see out here and stuff like that, including man. Know that things is going wrong, and something wrong now, and they're looking for a solution. How many times we done seen, save the whale, save the dolphin, save this, save that, save the environment. Because, listen, man, the people who rule now don't have no, no kind of, thought process because of their greed and their power and money and all this stuff like that. This earthly and materialistic desires that they have and stuff like that. They rather destroy and build and pollute rather than preserve for not only our sakes but theirs too. They're destroying this stuff. And Revelation it tells us, the angels rejoice and woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because guess what, man? It's going to be, we're going, the same people that Satan gave power to and stuff like that. They're going to think to hurt the seed in the land and everything like that. You understand? And what they doing, man? Look at it, man. Every sea coast, port city, and the east coast of America, it looks filthy. You understand? And until you get further out in the sea and stuff like that, but I, took a trip to Bahamas on a cruise ship and stuff like that, man. I was like, dang, man, I didn't even know water could look like that. So I'm looking at a movie. You understand? Versus, the Charleston Port, man, when that thing look as, as dingy, as brown as, that pillar right there, or dark. Pillar algae and everything like that. I'm like, man, and it just don't look like that in Charleston. You go to Newport News, you go to, Jersey Shores, you go to any place where there's a sea coast and it looks filthy. Until you go further out in the sea and stuff like that. So listen, even all the creatures are looking for the manifestation of the children of God. Right? Read verse 20. Come on.
For the creature was made subject to vanity.
Because through Adam's sin, they were subject to vanity. Right? Read.
Not willingly.
Not willingly, because guess what? I'm sure, the tree or any of these things didn't ask to be cut down, or, the air asked to be polluted, or the animals asked to, be, hunted, or none of that stuff like that, right? But it was through Adam's sin. Okay? Hold on a second. Go ahead.
But by reason of him, we have subjected the same in both.
That's right. What's the question?
So I just wanted to ask you what you were saying about the stench and the smell of it all.
Right, yeah, man. Yeah, it's bad out here, man. And now, man, it's bad, man, but now we gotta bottle up water. That's a famine. That's a curse. You understand? When you gotta go get alkaline water and stuff like that, look at it, man. 100 years ago and stuff like that, people were still bathing and getting well water, drinking fine. Right? Until all this lead and mercury and all that stuff started getting up into this stuff. There was no need like that. I mean, you talk about 100 years now. That ain't too long ago. When you had to really filter water versus today. Because of that, man. So it has gotten worse, like my brother just said. Read on.
Verse 21. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption.
You see that? So check this out. Even the creature itself shall also be delivered from the bondage of the corruption. So, man, this, man, look at, man, this deeper than just, some Israel and stuff like that, man. Look at, man, we all, man, the whole world is looking to be delivered, looking for salvation through these people too. Ain't this, ain't this, us as being affected by these curses? You understand? Read.
Delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of a height.
That's right.
For we know that the whole creation groan and travail in pain together until now.
Come on.
And not only they, but ourselves also.
That's right.
Which have the first fruit of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, the redemption of our bodies.
Okay, let's go to chapter 9 now of Romans. Stay in Romans chapter 9, verse 1.
Romans chapter 9, verse 1.
Talk about that adoption now.
Verse 1.
Come on.
Say the truth of Christ in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit.
Come on.
That I have great heaviness and continually sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
According to what?
According to the flesh.
According to the Spirit.
According to the flesh.
According to the flesh. Okay, meaning that this covenant ain't just some spiritual inheritance and stuff like that, right? So anybody could be, Yasser Allah, but this was a covenant, a covenant and a promise given to a particular people in this earth, right? According to the same promise and covenant the Most High, promise to our father Abraham, to the promised seed, okay, to the elect, right? Read.
Who are Israelites?
Who are who?
Who are Israelites?
Israelites.
To whom pertain the adoption and the glory
and the what?
And the covenant and the giving of the law.
In the giving of the law. Remember Psalms, what was it? Psalm 50 and 5. Oh man, I got so much precepts popping in my head right now, man. Whenever you reading these things that I ain't gotta get it, brother. You got a good one?
Yeah. Which one? Gather my saints together unto me.
Yes, 50 and 5.
What's the one where he said, I gave my statutes to Jacob? Was it 1 something?
That's 147, 19.
127. That's
147.
Huh?
Psalms 147, 19.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's one I want. Thank you, brother.
Psalm 147.
That's the one I wanted. 147?
19 and 20.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, brother. Yeah, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. right? So this is an Old Testament. So ain't nobody can come and say, well, it's all about, the Gentiles now. Okay? That's error in thinking. You're error not knowing the scriptures. Okay? This is for people, like I said, this ain't Israel only. This ain't first, because the Most High gave a covenant, an agreement with the children of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the elect. Okay? The giving of the law, and what else?
And the service of Ahiah,
Come on,
and the promise.
come on.
Verse 5.
Who
Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh Christ came.
Concerning the flesh, what?
Christ came.
Christ came through that seed, through these people. Okay? So guess what? Chinese people can stick claim to Christ. You either eat them, you either hang them. You understand? What do you call the East Indians? What do they call them? None of them. What do they call them? The Edomites, none of them. The Persians, nobody can stay claim to our Christ and our covenant. Moabites, ain't none of them. Okay? Concerning the flesh, okay? Not the spirit, but the flesh. Okay? Who what?
Who is over all.
Who is over all. Read.
Ahiah blessed forever. Amen.
That's right. So these people were chosen to be the representatives of the Father in the earth, and the righteous among them will obtain the blessings that come with the new covenant, right? Because even in our law, in Deuteronomy, in Exodus, I believe, I could be wrong, no, Deuteronomy 7, it tells you that we were going to be a nation of priests, right? No, I think it was Exodus. It could have been both, right? But we were supposed to be a nation of priests, right? So that's what, Christ established, right? That's why there was no more like priesthood under Levi, that he's coming in that order of Melchizedek. Peter tell you, and Peter did tell you will be a royal priesthood, right? Peter was another of the sons of Aaron. Okay, so like the old covenant had, in the old way we did things, man. Judah was the king, Levi was given under the priesthood, right? Under Moses and stuff like that. I mean, under Aaron, the high priest. So we in Christ now, we in that order of Melchizedek now, right? Okay, 1 John 32.
1 John 32.
Chapter 3, verse 2. Excuse me, brother. I'm sorry. I'm gonna wake up here, man. Yeah, thank you, brother. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. Read that.
1 John chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, what manners of love the Father has bestowed upon us.
Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us. Read.
That we should be called the sons of Ahiah. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it know him not.
You see that? He said, man, behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not. They don't have no idea. So, even though, those Gentiles, that's amongst us, some of they as ignorant as we are. Trust me. Or we were. Okay. That's why they talking about, we the children of Israel. Come on, man. The Jewish people, man. They the ones. No, we are, right? And when we talk about, a high and everything like that, and they try to fight us tooth and nail, but the name, the world know us not because
it knew him not. Right? Read on.
Verse 2.
Come on.
Beloved, now are we the sons of Ahiah,
Come on.
that it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
That's right, man. And see, you know, we can go into the cause of I taught on spiritual discipline, man. See, you know, because in the commentary it tell you, man, that, you know, in order to get this kingdom, get this salvation, it comes with stipulation. So, man, you know, the waking up and knowing who we are, man, that's just half the battle, really. The other half is to, you know, be able to, you know, once we baptize and, you know, confess our faults and repent and everything like that and be washed and cleansed. Now it's to keep, you know, endure to the end, being, you know, unspotted and unblemished. You understand? That's the real fight. Just into this world and stuff like that, man. Look at it. It seems like, man, you know, when we wasn't even conscious of what we was doing, man, like, you know, it didn't bother us that much. But now that we know, it seems like, man, look at it, man, Satan, you know, with these phones and everything like that, man, it turns up, man, you know, you were dealing with lust at one time and stuff like that. Now, you know, it pop in here, man, you know, girls gone wild, come on. Oh, no. You know, one, you know, looking for a date. Oh, you know, man, look at, man, you trying to, you know, figure out what's the weather, like for tomorrow and stuff like that, man. So you get prepared, man. You know, and all of a sudden this thing pop up, man. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta endure. And if you're dealing with, you know, lust or, you know, temptation and everything like that, man, you're like, oh, here we go. Or whatever, you know, we struggle with, man. It could be anything. But we struggle with in the past, stuff like that, man. You know, so man, it's best to, you know, stay disciplined. You know, stay prayed up, fast, do whatever you gotta do, man. And be around people with like minds and trying to, you know, strive, just like, you know, strive for what we're all trying to strive for, okay? Let's not do this thing alone. Okay? But verse 2 it says, but love. Now are we the sons of the Most High through that adoption again, right? And doth not yet appear, because it don't appear yet, right? We ain't in the land yet and stuff, right? What we shall be. We ain't know the power. We you know, on a low level we got the power, right? Consciously, man, we fight the devil by, you know, staying from temptation and all that and stuff like that. But that real glory, when, you know, man, we get that, you know, we receive that crown, which is the light, you know, when this earthly vessel, you know, now, you know, we come into our real glory and this vanish and be purged away. This is what we are trying to, you know, become like the Father. Who is immortal. We trying to get like that Adam, how Adam was before the fall. That glory. You understand? So even though, you know, it has not yet appeared, right? Read.
It appear.
But we
know that when he shall appear,
Christ appear, read.
We shall be like him.
We shall be like him. Y'all see that? Y'all pay attention? Oh, y'all, okay. Read.
For we shall see him as he is.
Come on.
Verse 3. And if every man that hath this hope,
come on,
in him purify himself, even as he is pure.
That's right. If any man has this hope in him purify, himself, and you already start to purify yourself. By letting, you know, letting whatever, you know, letting all everything go. All the desires, all the, you know, the things that's gonna be coming about to us, we start to let that go. Having that constantly stay in our mind like what we can become. You understand? Read on.
Verse 4.
Come on.
Whosoever committed sin transgressed also the law.
Come on.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
Well, sin is the transgression of the law. Read.
And he knows that he has manifested to take away our sin. And in him is no sin.
Right. Right. So read the commentary. Let me see how much more we got, man. It shouldn't be that much more. 3 more pages? Okay. Oh, wow. You serious? Well, I'm gonna quantify this thing in, man. All right. Okay, yeah, man. I don't want to, you know, this stuff is good, man. I'll continue. I'll give you all the scriptures to read on afterwards, stuff like the ones I don't get into. But I'm gonna do 2 more, and then I'm gonna wish y'all Godspeed. Okay, have Godspeed with you. We'll end the lesson there. Okay, let's get Isaiah, the first chapter. Oh man, I like this. Isaiah 1 and 8.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 8.
Come on.
And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage and a vineyard, as a lodge and a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city.
Come on.
Except the great and high of hosts have left unto us a very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
That's right. He said, okay, the Most High folks have not left unto us a very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like Gomorrah. Okay? To prove, man, how much mercy and grace the Most High had upon, first and foremost, our fathers, who he gave the covenants to, the promise to, the land to, right? Right? And his people, right? Read.
Verse 10.
Come on.
Hear the word of the great and the high. Ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear to the law of our power and the high. Ye people of Gomorrah.
That's right, man. So now he's referring to us now as Sodom and Gomorrah now. Read.
Verse 11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sins unto
Sacrifice.
me? Oh, okay. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me?
Come on.
Says the great and the high. I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of eagles.
That's right. Because see, guess what? Now, speaking of, they come with stipulations and stuff like that, right? We did those things. Those were our Old Testament, rites and rituals and stuff like that, customs and stuff like that, that we done to forgive sins. We had to take those things to a priest and let us, be forgiven of sins, but it wasn't consciously, we wasn't consciously, being repentant, because we kept on breaking the law, right? It's like I tell you, what we read in 1 John 3 and 4, that the sin is the transgression of the law, right? So look at it. My son said, man, look at it. I'm tired of your burnt offerings and your fat beasts and stuff like that. So now, in Romans 12, it said, now you're going to sacrifice yourselves now. You're going to come to me, look at, man, your soul is going to be your sacrifice, which is your reasonable service. Okay? You're going to give up your life like my son did. Okay? Read.
Verse 12. When you come to appear before me, who have surprised this at your hand, and tread my course.
Come on.
Verse 13. Bring no more vain oblations.
He said, bring no more vain oblations, right? Bring no more of that. I'm not with all that no more. Okay? Come on, that don't mean nothing to me. That's in vain. That has no value unto me no more. Read.
Incense is an abomination unto me.
Mm.
The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot wait with.
Now this saying is unlawful to light incense. This is let y'all get. You know, but you know, doing the priests used to light up incense and stuff like that. But when they started going off and stuff like that, that didn't have no value either. After a while, right? But those used to give up, you know, a sweet savor to the Most High when we did it correctly. Read.
It is iniquity, even a solemn meeting.
Hold on, read the new moon. What now? Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Come on, the new moon, the new month.
The new moons
Mm-hmm.
and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies.
Come on.
I cannot away with.
Okay, check this out now. I ain't telling you that, you know, don't follow new moons or new months or Sabbath. They're saying that, you know, the way we were doing it, it has no value to the Most High because we was only doing it. You know, we wasn't doing it with a clean heart, a pure heart, and you know, a clean mind. You understand? We were doing it in malice. Right? It is iniquity, right? Especially when we start going off on them and not keeping them according to, you know, what he gave to Moses, right? Read.
Verse 14.
Come on.
Your new moons
Mm-hmm.
and your appointed feasts, my soul hated.
Right. We started doing, you know, we started going on. This is, you know, around the period that we started going off. We started doing, you know, that's why, when you see Jewish people calendars, they have a Babylonian calendar, you know, they have what, 354 days. We started going off, and that period the Most High. But see, in Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, it told Moses, it showed Moses that we will be going off. Okay, so now y'all can understand why the Most High, you know, he would bring this revelation to Jeremiah now. He said, look here, your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hated. You know, it's not that he hated the new months and the Sabbath and the solemn feasts and stuff like that he commanded us to follow. It's just that we wasn't following correctly according to the calendar that he showed Enoch and he showed Moses from the beginning. Okay? Read on.
They are a trouble unto me.
They are trouble unto me. Read.
I am worried to bear them.
Come on.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And when you spread forth your hands,
Uh-huh.
I will hide my eyes from you.
Come on.
Yeah. When you make many prayers,
Uh-huh.
I will not hear.
Check this out, man. Even when you sin, when you do iniquity and stuff, the Most High don't hear your prayers. Okay? He will not hear it. Okay? Now I say, you know, he ain't hearing them at all. You come, you know, if you do something, I can say if you sin, you made a mistake or whatever like that, and you say, Most High forgive you, he ain't gonna hear you. But I'm saying, you know, but you gotta understand that, you know, this was perpetual. Okay? This was a perpetual thing with Israel, our people. Where they was going off. And they thinking that what they was doing was righteous, was God. Okay? Based on, you know, even the priest was going off. Right? Read.
Your hands are full of blood.
Your hands are full of blood. Read.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Wash you, make you clean.
Say, wash you, make you clean. That's the wash you, you know, is the purify, the cleanse. Hence, you know, baptize, baptism. They're telling you that in the Old Testament, the prophet Jeremiah was telling you to wash. Okay? So anybody can't, you know, and guess what? When the Pharisees and scribes came to John the Baptist, they said, they didn't ask you, what are you doing? What is this? They asked you, why are you baptized? Why are you putting in the water? Are you the priest? Are you the Christ? Right? Because they had knowledge of what baptism was. You understand? So other people teaching against baptism, man, that's an Old Testament custom amongst priests. You understand?
Even when we read in Leviticus, when we unclean, we wash. And remain unclean, and it made us remain unclean to the evening, to the next day. You understand? So cleanliness is next to godliness. Like people always told us, right? He said, wash you, make you clean. What else?
Put away the evil of your doing.
Put away the evil of your doing before what?
Mine eyes.
His eyes. Read on.
Cease to do evil.
Cease to do evil. Come on.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Learn to do well.
Learn to do well. How do you learn to do well? Well, Isaiah, what is it? Isaiah, it says you to seek out the book of the Lord and read. The scripture, the chapter and verse escapes me right now. I know it's something in 16 verse, I can't remember what chapter now. But it says, seek out the book of the Lord and read. You understand? Joshua 1 and 8 tell you, this book of the law should not depart from thy mouth. Meditate on it day and night. You understand? And you would have, when you would probably have good success. You understand? That's how you see, that's what it, that's how you learn to do well. According to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Read on.
Learn to do well.
Learn to do well. 34:16. Yeah, become me. All praise be to the Most High. Isaiah 34:16. You got the book of the Lord of me, Father. For the confirmation. Seek judgment and what?
Relieve the oppressed.
Relieve the oppressed. Come on.
Judge the powerless.
Same things Christ did when he came on earth, man. He was doing Isaiah 1 and 16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doing. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well, right? He was teaching them how to do well. Seek judgment. He was leaving the oppressed. Judging for the fatherless and pleading for the widow. Setting the captives free. Because sin was itself is bondage. You understand? You can have a man captive, a man's soul captive if he continue with it. You understand? Read on.
Verse 18.
Come on.
Come now.
Come now.
And let us reason together.
Let us reason together. See, the Most High want to, through the Holy Spirit, want to reason with us. That's what reason is, the Holy Spirit. You understand? He want to reason. He want to let us reason together. Just like, when from the time of Adam, Most High, Yeshua walked with Adam and kind of conversation with him in the eve of the day, in the cool of the day. It wasn't until he sinned where Adam hid himself from the Most High. You understand? And that's when the Most High knew that something was wrong. Okay? So now we got to get back to that. Read.
Says the great and the high.
Mm-hmm.
Though your sins be as scarlet, they should be as white as snow.
Come on.
Though they be red like crimson, they should be as wool.
That's right. Through the baptism of the New Covenant with the children of Israel, is honest so long as they remain diligent in keeping the commandments. This is the reason why these people are cursed, because as long as they break the Father's commandment, those that rule this world remain in power. Okay? So this ain't only something physical that's overtaking us. This is something spiritual, mental, that's overtaking us. Alright? The world itself can't take much more of their rule. The children of Israel's salvation also comes with power to rule. Let's prove that. Last scripture, y'all. Romans 11. I'm going to close it right there. Sorry for the delay, y'all. I mean, this is going over. Apologize for that. That's the last scripture, though. Romans 11, verse 1.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead, man. You know, just write it down if y'all ain't there yet. Romans 11:1.
Romans 11:1.
Mm-hmm.
I say then, has our power and higher cast away his people?
He said, I say that, this is Paul, I say then, has God cast away his people? Read.
Our power and forbid.
God forbid. No. Right? That's an emphatic no. Right? Read.
For I also am an Israelite.
For what?
For I am also an Israelite.
I am also an Israelite. This is Paul talking to the Gentiles, the nations. Okay? If y'all don't know. Right? He said, I am, because he was the apostle to the Gentiles. Right? So he said, for I also am an Israelite. Of what?
Of the seed of Abraham.
Of the seed of Abraham.
Of the tribe of Benjamin.
Of the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin was a son of Jacob or Israel.
Baby.
The baby of the, yeah. You understand? Read on.
Verse 2.
Come on.
Our power and higher have not cast away his
God has not cast away his people,
which he foreknew.
Will
ye not what?
Where did he put him at? From the Old Testament, for the Old Covenant. My statute I gave unto Jacob. Right? Read.
Will ye not what scripture said of Elias?
Come on.
How he maketh intercession to a power and higher against Israel?
Come on.
Saying, verse 3, higher, they have killed thy prophets, and dig down thy altars.
He said, Elijah said, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thy altars. Right? Read.
And I am left alone, and they seek my life.
Come on.
Verse 4.
Come on.
The word says the answer of our power and higher to him. I have reserved myself 7,000 men. Who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
He has reserved, just like I said earlier, he reserved, to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Read.
Verse 5.
Come on.
Even so then, at this present time, also there's a remnant according to the election of grace.
That's right. Read.
Verse 6.
Come on.
And if by grace, then is it no more works.
Come on.
Otherwise, grace is no more grace.
Come on.
But if it be of works, then is it no more grace.
Come on.
Otherwise, work is no more work.
Come on.
Verse 7. What then?
What then?
Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for. For the election have obtained it, and the rest were blind.
Come on.
Verse 8. According as it is written, our power and higher have given them the spirit of slumber.
They gave them the spirit of slumber. Read.
Eyes that they should not see.
Come on.
And ears that they should not hear. Until this day.
Until this day. Right? That was prophesied in Jeremiah. Right? That Israel would have been, he would give them the spirit of sleep. You understand? Read.
Verse 9. And David said, let the people be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. That's right. When he looked up, he said, man, let their tables be made a snare, and block, and a recompense unto them. Going back until, being the borrower rather than the lender and stuff like that. Other nations for assistance. Read. And God that they should fall asking, right? Read. I am forbid. God forbid. No. Came to who? To the Gentiles. What is this? You may ask, right? And then, being filled with the Holy Ghost and all that, speaking in tongues and all that, is that salvation? Is that being saved? What is the salvation that the Gentiles have? Through our fall. Read. Or to provoke them to jealousy. To provoke them to jealousy. Verse 12. How they did that? Read. Now, the fall of the world. Hold on, read that again. Now if befall them be the
Now other be the what?
riches,
What? It became a spoil. We became a spoil. Our land, that's why they fight. That's why you see the wars in the Middle East, man. Because guess what? That land don't belong to them. They fight for it. And Psalms 83 say, man, look here, man, let's they made a crafty console and stuff like that. They wanted to hijack, what I'm saying, the houses of the Most High. What is the houses of the Most High? Israel, Jerusalem. You understand? The true Jerusalem. Okay? Not the imposter you see right now, they call Jerusalem now. Jerusalem don't even look nothing like that. Okay? Read on. So our fall made salvation, the riches of this world was given to the Gentiles. And they started crowning themselves, stuff like that, giving each other all the riches and gold and stuff like that. And kept us in a perpetual sleep by not telling us who we are, right? And kept us in servitude by teaching us to sin on purpose. Until the Spirit of the Most High, through Yeshua and the Holy Spirit of Ruach, will one day wake us up out of sleep. By sending what? Apostle, prophet, teachers. But what? Perfecting of the saints. Right? Read on. Finish it out.
verse 12. Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
And the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more our fullness. Man, I will read the rest of this, man, but
Can I bring something out real quick?
go ahead, brother.
All right, I'm in the book of Jeremiah chapter 2, I'll start at 12. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye the Most High. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Verse 14. Is Israel a servant?
Is what?
Is Israel a servant?
Are we servants?
Is he a homeborn slave?
Are you a homeborn slave? Are we born to serve? Like they told us and stuff like that, because they like to pull that ham out their behind, right?
Why is he spoiled?
Right? Cursed be, even though the scriptures say, blessed be Canaan, cursed be Canaan, excuse me, or you be a servant and non-servant, man, they put ham. Like people can't read the Bible. And because we don't go to the Old Testament and see that it say Canaan instead of Ham, by default, man, we look to Ham and think that's us because their education. They taught us to be servants rather than leaders. And guess what, man? Even when we go to colleges and stuff like that, vocational school, whatever like that, they teach us how to be, especially Benedict and Allen and stuff like that. We work, man, we go in there so we can be on somebody's job instead of while they go to school to actually be taskmasters over us. You understand? Jewish people, they go to public school or private school and then they go to Hebrew school. So they're teaching the other nations are teaching their children how to rule over Jacob. We're not teaching each other, we're not teaching our children how to rule over them, because we don't even know how to rule over them. You understand? And that's a sign of a cursed people. Okay? There's some more and stuff like that, but I'm gonna say shalom on that. Right? All praises be to the Most High.
All praise.
Okay? And check this out. That's why, man, we get on these streets next week, on the 25th. I need the brothers and sisters too, if y'all want to join on before we have the event at 3 o'clock. Except those who working with Allison
with the women's empowerment, next week, man. Y'all check your emails and text messages, you know, for the location and where we're gonna be. We're gonna, you know, pass on some flyers and maybe get into some street ministry. The location will be announced this week, okay? So I need, you know, I definitely, that's why, that's why this thing has to be preached. Because our people don't know, okay? They don't have no idea. And again, for those, who came in kind of late, man, go on Wikipedia and look up nation, okay, and see what it, and see what it says, concerning what is a nation, and also, and also, you know, scroll down and look at black nationalism and stuff like that, what I read earlier, okay? And see when the meaning of a nation, changed when our people came into the Americas, okay? This is FYI, man, but thank you. And, bless you. All right. You got the announcement? All right. Listen.
I try not to do that.
Okay. Hold on for a second here, man. As we take the tithes and offering and stuff like that. Anybody that looking to make any payments for the blowing of the trumpet coming up September the 8th and stuff like that. We have I believe to the 25th of this month to make payment. That's the deadline. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. I believe there's some colored envelopes. There's some yellow, blue, whatever, put it in there and stuff like that so I can make sure that the Holy Day and event committee has them, right? And of course, if you're paying by PayPal, excuse me, let me get that for you. Let me get that information for you. GOCCSC fees. Okay. The www.paypal.me /GOCCSC fees. FEASTS. Okay. For the deadline is the 31st, excuse me, not the 25th, the 31st. For any all the payments, okay? But it should be, but the email that sent out, that's why I saw the feast day, so just check your emails for the proper thing. Okay, that's all I have, for announcement. That anybody want to get prayed for today? Okay. Anybody want to get prayed for today? You need a prayer, stuff like that. Please come forward. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Right.
Anyone else?
All right. And I'm gonna focus more on what I have here, and I'm gonna be praying for something. If I can say a prayer for, you know, those things. Praise the Most High, man. I didn't really got to kick my thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We don't get out of the talk later. Yes, sir. Hey, young man. Good. Hi, sir. Come here, man. You too, man.
Oh, did you? Everybody can be a everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody praise
About to mess up his ways, man. About to mess that man ways up, man.
All right, all right. Well, we all here, so, man, you know. I got my brother here, man. Man, that's it. I'm afraid my brother, man. He just laid that some big hands on him, okay? All right, my brother. All right. You can lay hands. That's all. Just lay hands. I'm gonna say a prayer for the saints, okay? Come on, we're gonna probably do. That's the rapper back up there, man. That's all that. So I guess. Come on, let's do it right here. All right. Y'all ready? All right.
All right, we all go ahead and bow our heads. Eternal Heavenly Father, Creator of heaven and earth. Father, again, we thank you for your tremendous mercy that has been upon us. Father, we thank you for your love. We thank you, Father, that you have never given up on us, that you have never forsaken us, and that we, Father, as your people, we know that your eyes are continually upon us. And even though we realize, Father, that we have been brought down low because of the sins of the fathers as well as our own sins.
Yes, Father.
We just pray, Father, that you will look upon us with mercy, with kindness, with compassion, and continue to draw us, Father, closer to you as well as unto one another. And Father, we just thank you always. But we know, Father, that you have blessed us because you have brought to our attention the knowledge of who we are as a people. You have also helped us to understand, Father, why we are in the condition that we're in. And also, Father, what we need to do to come forth out of. We just thank you that such mercy that you have shown toward us is now manifest in our lives. And that we can come before you and be grateful for what you have done for us. And that we can come unto you, Father, bringing before you any and all problems or afflictions that has come against us, knowing, Father, that you will deliver us out of them all. And we just thank you even now, Father, and we just continue to pray unto you that you will guide us, keep us unto you, continue to draw us closer to you, as well as to one another. And also help us, Father. Help us all to truly love one another, even as Christ has shown such love toward us all. We pray that you will continue to be with us. Pray that you will continue to motivate us, encourage us, and to help us, Father. Father, even right now, we ask that your strength, your power be upon us. Be upon all your people throughout the world. And also help us, Father, to realize that we as a people, a chosen people, a royal priesthood, that you, Father, through your great wisdom and great understanding, will bring about the fulfillment of such a nation of people whom you have called and whom you have chosen. We thank you even now, more so, Father. We thank you for your truth. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for all you have done for us. And we just pray, Father, that even now as we continue to do your will, to do your work, to do everything, Father, that you have inspired us to do. We just pray that you would help us as a people, help us to realize that even though the nations have done so much damage unto us, that you, through Christ, will restore us. And we just pray, Father. We thank you for such mercy. We thank you for your power. We thank you for all you have done for us. And Father, we do know that even though things seem such trouble and tiresome, and that hope sometimes seems like it's lost, but we know that our strength is in you. And that you, Father, is our salvation. And that there is none other that we can turn unto but unto you. And as always, Father, we just pray, continue to keep us, continue to help us, continue to strengthen us, and continue to help us to realize that even as a people, you, Father, is there for us. We know, Father, that the nation does not plead our cause, but we do, Father, that you will plead our cause, and that you are going to deliver your people, the children of Israel. And that Lord, Father, we pray that your protection be upon us, continue to help us as far as a people in protecting one another, being there for one another, bearing one another's burden. Just continue to grow in the grace and knowledge of our Savior Yeshua Christ, and always, Father, keeping our sight, our eyes focused upon you, upon your kingdom, upon your law, and upon the grace that has been delivered unto us. And as always, Father, we do pray, keep us always abiding in your love and in your truth. And we ask all of this in Messiah Christ's name, our soon coming Lord, Savior, and King. Amen.
All praise to the Most High.
All praise, God. All praise.
All praise.
All praise.
Amen.
All praise.
That is powerful prayer. That was a powerful prayer.
Still ain't talking that loud, man. What day, brother? What day? What day?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.